In the last video, we looked at the sum of cubes. Today we're going to look at the difference of cubes, and I just want to point out that I've written it a little bit differently. It doesn't matter where that variable is, if it's on the first term or the last term, we're still going to use the pattern. We're still going to keep it in the same order. Do not change the order or your answer will look weird. So, again, we need to recognize that this is a cube. And the way we recognize is that we see that this here is a perfect cube. And we also know that this here is a perfect cube. And then we see that right here, this is a difference. So again, we have to recognize this is a difference of cubes, not the difference of squares. So let's review the pattern. This also has a pattern. And we can see here that we have a perfect cube, excuse me, that should be a B, and a perfect cube, and that right here we have the difference. So our original is a cubed minus b cubed. So let's write that down. A cubed minus b cubed. So if you remember what we did in the last video, we had a binomial times a trinomial. So let's write that down. This is going to be a binomial which has two terms, and this is going to be a trinomial which has three terms. Okay, that's just one way of helping you to remember the pattern. So I'm going to have a, b. Then I'm going to have a squared, b squared's at the end, and ab is in the center. And then again, I'm going to do same, opposite, always positive. So same in this case is minus, opposite of minus is plus, and always positive is plus. So you can see the pattern. The only thing that's different between the sum and difference of cubes are the signs that you put between the variables. So this SOAP mnemonic is very important to help you remember. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's figure out what our a and a squared is. I know that a cubed is 125. So I want to figure out what a is. In order for me to figure out what a is, I'm simply going to take the cubed root of both sides. So the cube root of a cubed is a, and the cube root of 125 is 5. But I also need to know what a squared is, so let's write down what a squared is. 5 times 5 is 25. So that is what I'm going to use in my pattern, this information right here. Don't care about anything else. Now, be careful with this one. We ignore the sign because our pattern takes care of the sign for us. So that means that b cubed is 27x cubed. So we're going to ignore the negative. Okay, we're going to ignore that negative right up there. We're going to ignore that because our pattern takes care of it. So now if we want to find out what b is, we have to take the cubed root of both sides. So that means the cubed root of b cubed is b, the cubed root of 27 is 3, and the cubed root of x cubed is x. But I also want to know what b squared is. So 3x squared is 9x squared. So this is what I want to know. This is going to help me in my pattern. So that means now I just have to put it in. So again, remember I'm factoring this part of the equation, those are my factors. So let's write the pattern. The more you write the pattern down, the more you will remember it. So our pattern is A, B, A squared, B squared, AB. And then we're going to do same, opposite, always positive. Same, opposite, oops, I just messed up. I was looking at the wrong thing. Same was a minus because our original was minus. Opposite is a plus and always positive. So that there should be a negative. Okay, so let's go ahead and substitute in. My A is 5. My B is 3x. My A squared is 25. My AB, excuse me, let's do our B squared last. My B squared is 9x squared, and my AB is 5 times 3x, which gives me 15x. So that's my answer for factoring the difference of cubes. So you basically just have to remember the pattern, take the cube root, and you're done.